As I investigate ASML's controversial plan to spend $2.5 billion in a factory in China against US sanctions, will I be able to unearth the true motives for this brave move? ASML is a Dutch corporation that has quietly dominated the semiconductor business for decades. They are a major supplier of lithography systems, which are essentially machines that manufacture microchips. Many of the world's leading chip makers would be unable to build the high-performance chips that power our smartphones, laptops, and data centers if ASML's technology did not exist. ASML's contribution to the industry is so significant that they are frequently referred to as the crown gem of the Netherlands high-tech economy. ASML has had remarkable growth in recent years, with revenues rising by more than 10% every year. This increase has been fueled by the insatiable demand for processors from businesses such as Apple, Samsung, and Huawei. As the worldwide chip deficit worsens, ASML has invested considerably in new production capacity to fulfill demand. And that takes us to their most recent announcement, a $2.5 billion investment in a new facility in China. This investment is notable not just because of its magnitude, but because it represents ASML's aggressive entry into the Chinese market. The new plant, situated in Changzhou, will produce some of ASML's most sophisticated lithography systems. ASML's CEO, Peter Wennink, has claimed that the facility will be operational by 2025, with the goal of producing hundreds of systems annually. The timing of ASML's statement is intriguing, to say the least. The United States has imposed stringent penalties on China's technology industry, notably the export of sophisticated chip-making equipment. These restrictions are intended to prevent China from creating its own chip industry and to restrict the flow of sensitive technology to Chinese enterprises. Do you appreciate the video? If so, please subscribe, like, and share our videos for more current and fascinating material. Let us continue. These restrictions have caused some issues for firms like ASML, which rely on China as a significant market and production hub. The limitations have made it difficult for Chinese enterprises to get advanced chip-making technologies, putting pressure on companies such as ASML to manage these complicated geopolitical conflicts. In recent years, the United States has banned many Chinese technology companies, including Huawei, due to national security concerns. This has had a widespread influence on the business, with companies like Google, Intel, and Qualcomm all experiencing the effects. The Huawei ban in particular has dealt a severe hit to the chip sector, as Huawei is one of the world's top semiconductor purchasers. The prohibition has caused Huawei to seek new sources of semiconductor supply, putting strain on the whole ecosystem. To understand why ASML is taking this risk, we must consider the larger backdrop of US-China relations. The trade battle between the two nations has been smouldering for years, with both sides slapping taxes and bans on each other's products. The technology industry has been particularly severely impacted, with businesses like Huawei and ZTE facing significant limitations on their ability to purchase US-made components. Despite these difficulties, China remains an important market for many technology businesses. The country's large consumer base and quick expansion make it an appealing target for businesses trying to increase sales. China is extremely significant in the semiconductor industry, as it is one of the world's top chip users. The United States' sanctions on China's technology sector are intended to prevent the nation from creating its own indigenous chip industry. However, the penalties have caused Chinese enterprises to seek other suppliers, including those in South Korea and Taiwan. In this setting, ASML's choice to invest in China is a calculated risk. On the one hand, the corporation risks incurring reprisal from the US government, as well as losing access to the US market. On the other hand, ASML has the potential to develop a large foothold in the Chinese market, which might be worth billions of dollars in the long term. The Chinese government has been actively pursuing international investment in the technology sector, and ASML's decision is expected to be viewed as a significant coup for Beijing. The Made in China 2025 plan intends to make China self-sufficient in essential technology, such as chip manufacturing. With ASML's investment, China is one step closer to accomplishing its goal. ASML's plant in China will produce some of the company's most sophisticated lithography equipment, such as EUV and DUV. These systems are important for the production of high-performance chips, and Chinese businesses as Huawei and SMIC will use them to build their own. The relevance of ASML's involvement extends beyond the technology itself. It represents a transition in the global semiconductor industry's power dynamic, with China gradually emerging as a prominent participant. This might have serious ramifications for the United States, which has traditionally controlled the semiconductor sector. ASML's decision is also expected to have an impact on other technology businesses. If the US government does not intervene, additional businesses may follow ASML's path and invest in China, further undermining the US's chip sector leadership. The venture is not without hazards, however. ASML may suffer punishment from the US government, including fines, penalties, or exclusion from the US market. The corporation also risks losing business from US companies who are hesitant to do business with a company that invests in China. Despite these concerns, ASML's CEO, Peter Wennink, has emphasized that the business remains dedicated to the initiative. During a recent earnings call, Wennink emphasized the importance of the Chinese market and stressed that ASML is prepared to take strategic risks to grow its company. The decision to invest in China was most likely made at ASML's top levels of management. Wennink has been essential in pushing the company's expansion into Asia, and he believes China is a significant growth opportunity. ASML's investment in China is a daring move, but it is not unprecedented. The organization has a long history of investing in emerging regions and has had great success in developing ties with local governments and businesses. The timing of ASML's announcement is especially noteworthy, as it occurs amid a moment of increased tensions between the United States and China. ASML's investment might be interpreted as a hint of its willingness to flout US sanctions and pursue a more autonomous economic strategy. It will be intriguing to observe how ASML's investment in China develops over the next few years. Will the corporation be able to effectively traverse the complicated web of US-China ties, or will it meet strong opposition from the US government? ASML's choice to invest in China has far-reaching ramifications for the semiconductor industry, US-China relations, and the future of technology production. Looking ahead, one thing is apparent. The worldwide semiconductor business is quickly transforming, and firms like ASML are at the forefront of this transformation. What are your thoughts on ASML's choice to invest in China? Share your ideas in the comments section below, and don't forget to watch our other films on IT sector developments.